guys, world premiere of the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. This
Lamborghini Temerario. What?
is the successor to the wildly popular Lamborghini Huracan, which they sold almost 30,000 of, which is kind of insane for a super sports car like this. Here it is.
Mano, é estranho. Olha. Temerário. Olha que não é nada mau. Opa, sei lá.
So you might be wondering why I've got my phone in my pocket here.
Ainda bem. Népia, não. Esta parte de baixo não curto muito, meu.
Well, our mic died, of course, yesterday, so we needed a good solution, like an emergency solution. So I've got the dictaphone here, and it seems to be working pretty well. So don't mind that. Let's continue with the car. This is the new Blue Marinus, which is a new color for the Temerario. And the design is, well, it's quite revolutionary, really. It is definitely different looking than the Huracan. It has certain Lamborghini trademarks, of course, but there are a few details which I want to show you and take you around. Mainly at the front, we've got a couple really cool details. A hexagonal daytime running light down low, which also doubles as an air intake. So this is an air duct which directs air into, I think this is to the brakes, but there are more ducts and air vents going on around the DRLs. We've got the new headlights, which are very narrow and are covered by the hood, as you can see. So they kind of sit in there ominously looking at you, like it wants to kill you basically. And then next to that, we've got another air vent with a fin that directs air up and down. So a lot of aero is going on, but it's invisible, which I really like because it doesn't interfere with the design. We've got a beautiful matte carbon splitter down here, some more gorgeous designs, and this is, as you can see,
mas parece, mano, dá a sensação que o carro está bem alto, meu.
Open. So
olha,
there's a lot of intricacies to this car that you only see when you get up close with it, which is really cool. So moving on down the side, come up with me. We've got these gorgeous 20-inch wheels at the front. There are 21s at the rear, wrapped in Bridgestone Potenza rubber. You can opt for the sport version or the race version, and they also have a run flat tire available for the first time. And they also developed a special winter tire for the Temerario, which is kind of cool. We've got a new mirror design as well, which also doubles as an aerodynamic element, of course, because it directs air into either one of the side vents, the side intakes, I should say. Again, a nice piece of aerodynamic design. A side skirt Temerario badge there, little air vent here that directs air from here out across the wheels. Little detail here as well to split this air intake. And then you can see the high, broad shoulder of this car, which is a completely different look compared to the Huracan. Beautiful carbon fiber here as well, didn't see that. That's also an air intake, that's very cool. Broad shoulders and then this long running rear, which all kind of seems to culminate into the exhaust.
V8 puta, é um escape só. Não sei, não sei o que achar dele, mano, sinceramente. Foda-se, está bué da estranho, mano. Daqui para baixo e a parte da frente está bué da estranho, meu. O que é isto?
So this design is meant to sort of direct everything to this rear point. The diffuser is very pronounced. As you can see, it sticks out. And then you have the open rear wheel design, which means that you can see the rear wheel, which is very cool. There are some nice touches of integrated into the design. So again, aerodynamic efficiency, but also kind of... Developed by Lamborghini, 4-liter V8 bi-turbo with 2 absolutely massive turbochargers on top here. And an electric motor integrated into the engine between the gearbox, which is an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox transversely placed behind the engine, so in the rear of the car, to make room for a battery pack that sits in the tunnel. Still with me? We've got 2 electric motors on the front axle as well. All these electric motors develop 150 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque. The engine develops 800 horsepower, 730 newton meters of torque. Combine that and you've got 920 horsepower for the new Temerario. So they didn't just take a step, they took a leap from the Huracan to the Temerario. It is a big, big difference. The engine is just a masterpiece. It is so intricate, it is so advanced. It does 10,000 RPM. Max power of this engine is between 9,000 and 9,750 RPM, which is just nuts. I cannot wait to. So 920 horsepower, the car weighs around 1,715 kilos, give or take a few kilos. That means 0 to 100 in 2.7 seconds,
2.7 segundos
to 200 in less than 7.3. So that means 100 to 200 in 4.6 or less, which is kind of nuts. Top speed over 340 kilometers an hour. 4-wheel drive, of course, because you have the front electric motors. You've got torque vectoring as well. So let's have a look inside, because this was another thing about the car. They wanted to make it a little bit more comfortable, because 1 in 3 customers apparently daily drives their Huracan. So it had to be more comfortable. It had to be more spacious inside. So I honestly thought that that is why we were invited, because I'm very tall and they couldn't wait for me to get inside the car and just see how I was sitting in it. And well, so was I. So let's get in the car. And I'll show you that this indeed is a massive improvement. So the Huracan used to be a little bit too cramped for me in a few ways. One, the steering wheel would hit my legs.
O Huracan, pá, era bué pequeno para ele, mas este, esquece, perfeito.
Well, that's not the case anymore. Legroom has improved by 46 millimeters. And 2, I would be looking at the sun visor basically, because the roof would be too low and my head would be too high. So we've got this double bubble basically here, which adds a little bit of headroom. My seating position is absolutely spot on. So apparently it's up to like 2 meters of length, that with a helmet that you should be able to sit comfortably in this car. It is a big difference. It feels...
Pá, mesmo assim, mano. Pá, mano, o volante, eu acho que eles conseguiam pôr mais coisa, estás a perceber? Tipo, o volante que eu tenho no Type R tem aquela cena em cima. Eu acho isso bué fixe. E isso num carro destes, o pessoal adora.
A lot more spacious.
Mano, até te digo, mano, assim... Pá, sei lá.
It feels more comfortable for long distances and stuff like that. So, yeah, really great improvement.
Mano, até sou capaz de dizer que o volante deve ser a pior parte do interior do carro. Estou a dizer, tipo, de tudo que tem de bom lá dentro, o volante era a única coisa que eu mudava.
Really
o resto
great improvement. We've got a lovely carbon fiber steering wheel with pedals mounted to the column. They have a lovely click action and finally available in carbon fiber. Then we have a whole lot of buttons on the steering wheel to do the driving modes, the nose lift, the drift mode, which is also new in sport, and Corsa mode, which uses the front axle.
Parece que o volante, vendo desta perspectiva, parece que o volante está a tapar tudo. Tipo, que a visão dele, ele já é alto. Os olhos, tipo...
Torque vectoring to kind of get you out of a slide basically. So there are 3 levels of angle that you can do. 1 being the least and 3 being the most aggressive one. You have driving modes, Cheetah, which is City, Strada, Sport and Corsa, with different versions for the hybrid drivetrain and the regeneration as well. But we'll talk about that when we drive it next year. The main thing is that Inside, they also took this car to the next generation with the new screens, the center screen here with all your info and your settings, and then a passenger display on the right as well. But this interior feels next generation as well. Lovely key here. And a lot of matte carbon fiber on the interior, which I really like. Now, they also did a lot of sound engineering on the car. So we should be able to let you guys hear the engine sound right now. So I'll be quiet for a moment and listen. We should put that like monkey with the Walkman meme in there.
Já percebemos!
They did a lot of sound engineering as well to get the...
Parece o aspirador que eu tenho ali, pá. Vou ali buscar para tu veres. Mano, foda-se. Isso não é igual, caralho.